What's going on, guys? Bonjour à tous et bienvenue sur ma chaîne. Je m'appelle Joe, j'ai 30 ans, je suis en États-Unis pour travail, je suis un professionnel de la cybersécurité. J'ai étudié le français pour 5 mois et demi, peut-être 6 mois. D'habitude, le mois dernier, je ne pratique pas étudier le français parce que j'étais très occupé pour les vacances. Maintenant, je voudrais étudier tous les jours parce que j'ai tout oublié. C'est vrai. J'ai bien commencé quelque chose appelé Lingoda. C'est une heure en jeu. Chaque leçon est enseignée avec un tuteur natif. Pour le moment, c'est bon. J'ai fini 6 leçons à niveau A1 pour 1. Je vais vous apprendre le français parce que je pense le français, c'est une belle langue. J'espère visiter la France et le Québec. Et aussi, j'espère enseigner un jour à mes enfants. Maintenant, je n'ai pas d'enfants. Peut-être un jour. C'est mon objectif à long terme. I just want to give a little bit of introduction in French because that's what I've been doing lately in my lessons. About 5.5 months ago, 6 months ago, I decided to take up French. And before that, I didn't know a single word. Now I'm able to communicate on a very basic level, either indirectly or directly, to get my point across. That doesn't mean that I could understand you, but sometimes I can, and sometimes you have to change what you say a couple times for me to understand what you're saying. I think I'm probably around the A1, A2 level, maybe upper A1, lower A2. The first 30 days I used Pimsleur. After that, I did about 80 lessons of this. That brought me to about the 4-month mark. After that, I decided I needed to change it up. It was getting too much for me, and I started doing learning with Netflix. Let me see if I can't share my screen. This is a web extension through Google Chrome, where if you have a Netflix account, you're able to watch Netflix and have the target language in your own language populate, so you have double subtitles, which is really cool. So what I usually do, let me see if I can't get this to play. I'm not sure if you're going to hear it or not. It's going really, making a video at the same time. So we're watching the video. Oh, I must have clicked something. It's all in French or English. Usually it doesn't do that. Hold on. Let's see what happens. Well, you can see right here, je suis désolé, c'est tout ce... Oh, it's moving. The settings are all messed up, so I apologize about this. Looks like I'm a little unprepared. But anyway, so you can see right here, it says, sorry, Samuel. I'm just going to click on here. Excusez-moi, Samuel. You can see you're getting both. And the way that the French is spoken, hold on. The way that the French is spoken is a lot different than how you're learning in a book. So I think this is very good to be able to get the kind of street French rather than the textbook French, because it is a little bit different. After the 4-month mark, I started doing this. I would watch French television shows, and I would look at the subtitles, and I would just try to translate, because that's what I was used to using this. The main objective was to translate the sentences from target language, so from English or French to English, and then English to French. So this is kind of what I'm doing with this as well. That got a little too boring, and so I got a grammar book. This got way more boring. So you couldn't do this right before bed unless you're trying to go to sleep mid-lesson. Long story short, I ended up becoming not as motivated, and I became very busy during the holiday seasons for Christmas and New Year, and I ended up taking about 2.5 to 3 weeks off. I wanted to talk about this because motivation plays a big factor in learning a language, and although I've learned a lot, the motivation goes up and down, and it's just the truth of it, and I wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit. You have to stay consistent because during that 2.5 to 3 weeks, I felt like I've lost a lot, and although I feel my pronunciation's still a little bit better, I've learned a lot. There's some words I'm like, what is that word? What is that word? I should know this word. So what I've done is I need to find something a little bit more structured, and that's why I looked and I found a program called Lingoda. Lingoda is an online application. It's a subscription-based product on that teaches either French, Spanish, German, or Italian, and they're taught by natives. And you get 1 hour of lesson format from what I consider like from the DELF exam. So you have an A1, A2, B1, B2. And for those that are unfamiliar with the levels, B2 is where you're at for, if I want to attend like a French university, I would have to have a B2 certificate as if I've passed. Well, what this does, you work towards a certification, that certificate. Some countries accept this instead of like an official one. Some places you still have to go get it, but you're getting all the grammar, the reading, the writing, the speaking practice towards the same objectives that cover the DELF exam. With this kind of structure, me being able to talk to a native every single day, it kind of lured me in. What I'm a little bit upset about, a little disheartening, is when I took the practice exam, I bombed it. And it says I need to start from scratch. So here I am studying 5.5 months, 6 months, and they still put me at an A1.1, which is, I don't know if I should be telling you guys about this, but I said from the beginning I'm going to be very open. So I'm sharing my screen with you. I'm starting at the very beginning. I don't think my French is awesome. I think for 5.5 months by myself, I'm doing pretty well. Nevertheless, I'm still going to go through here. That test humbled me a little bit, so I'm going to learn about how to say, how are you? Hello. But to me, I already know this stuff. Comment allez-vous? Ça va bien. Bonjour, bonsoir, bonne nuit, bon matin, après-midi. Like I've learned this stuff. Who are you? Some of these verbs and stuff like that, I'd never done any grammar. I started doing this before I started falling asleep at night. But now I'm going to do it with a native and a couple other people in the class. And I wanted to speak about that as well. Had I just started off with Lingoda, even at the A1.1 level, because I just explained I'm at the bottom of the barrel, I feel like I would be completely lost. I think this platform is more for like a false beginner. And what I mean by that is someone that has a little bit of actual French knowledge or their target language knowledge before jumping in. Some of these classes, I remember my first 3 trial classes, my teacher told me that I'm studying beneath my means, meaning you shouldn't take this class. You already know this material. The second class, I felt like I'm arguably was holding people back. Like I knew the least amount, and that was a grammar course. So basically what I'm doing is I might be covering the material twice, but I'm cementing my knowledge and I'm filling in those gaps that I miss in the A1.1. I just got a new tutor as well on iTalki, and he says that we just had a conversation, and he thinks I'm at a A2 level. And I told him, I said, I think I'm at A1. And he goes, well, we're gonna work through some A2 stuff, and if we have to go back and cover a little bit of the A1, we'll do that. So I wanted to kind of talk about where I am with my studying, how it's going, and the new approach that I'm doing. The last thing I wanted to talk about for the Lingoda is there's not a lot of pure reviews, and what I mean by that is a lot of people online, what they do is they share their referral code. And what that does is it gives me a false sense that they're really giving a true example of how their learning experience has been. For that reason, I'm not going to share my referral code. I don't care if I get a free lesson. I would rather give off real content and let you guys know what I truly think of it, because I don't care if Lingoda gives me anything or not. I'm going to tell you guys if this, in my opinion, is a good product. If they claim that you don't need supplementary material, however, I think that they do encourage it. The more you learn, the better. But they claim that they can get you from an A1 to a B2, so I'm going to kind of test that out. I'm going to share my progress throughout the way and so forth. So anyways, I know this is kind of drawn out. I'm already getting up to 11 minutes, but I just wanted to share. I'm still doing my French. I think and this is another thing. With the Lingoda, you're not the only one in the class. You could take a private class, but it's like double the price. I take group lessons. So there's like 3, 4, 5 people in the class, and each person's from around the world. These are other language learners at your level, which is very interesting, is the accents that you get to hear. So I have my own difficulties with the R's and some liaisons and so forth. But to hear it with the different accents, I'm really jealous. Like I think Italian and I think some German-based languages or German-based regions, they have a very good accent. Whereas an American, I could pick up right away. I'm like, man, I suck. Like I need to pick up on this. And I've been told that it's not necessarily what I'm saying. Like they could understand what I'm trying to say, but my pronunciation is very poor, in the sense that if they didn't have a good, they didn't have a strong English background, they would have a lot of difficulty understanding me. So I don't know if that's true or not, but at the very least, I speak with the native every single day. I work on my pronunciation, and I'm learning the grammar and basically some of the tasks to work yourself up through that Delft scale. Anyways, I've gone on enough, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. A bientôt.